It's Saturday, 1 o'clock Eastern. Chillmonger, joined by Luke Ponto. We were just talking about breakfast and the best restaurants and the best restaurant menus. I would say McDonald's, yeah, it's great. The McMuffin, I eat it without the ham on it, but I'll always add a tomato. That thing is amazing.
Good. There you go. I think I had like one of those McMuffins when I went to like a youth church camp. Like they actually had some McMuffins like for breakfast, stuff like that, and I was like, "That's actually good." Like,
yeah, I bet you they did this thing where they went to Amazon, they got that McMuffin maker, and they had that. Listen, they're not here to listen to us talk about McMuffins. They're here to listen to us talk about Marvel. That's the theme of today. Luke Ponto is new here, so you should probably introduce yourself and tell them who they are, because it's the beginning of the video where audience retention is at its highest.
All right, absolutely. But yeah, I'm Luke Ponto, a film reviewer. I love talking about movies on the regular. Of course, I'm a big physical media collector, as you can tell behind me. And I also do like a lot of live streams, watch-alongs, and if you guys like my new show that I've been doing on my channel for the past couple of months called The Moviegoers Live Show, you guys are in the right spot. So, and been having a good time doing that show.
I'm muted. I know you through Zach. That's where I've been introduced to you in your work. Zach Milne.
Yeah, because Zach Milne and I have met. We actually met on the first day of 2022, and that's actually when we started to, recognize each other more and so become better friends.
There's a hole on the movie reviewing and kind of like that space because John Campea stopped his live streaming. There's like someone is going to become that daytime guy who you go every single, and there are many. I'm not saying like Double Toasted doesn't exist, and there's a lot of others that don't even cross my mind right now. But now with Collider gone, I think Christian Harloff's audience probably will increase. And who else benefits from this? From John Campea just not being there?
That's a good question, actually.
One of us needs to do
it. Good.
Question number 1 of 33 Burning MCU questions. Do Asgardians even want to build another rainbow bridge to teleport? They're like, listen, the first time we had it for hundreds of years, things went sour. But, it was fixed inexplainably between Thor 1 and Thor 2. And then all of a sudden Asgard goes to in Ragnarok. You think they even want another rainbow bridge, or they're just like, nah, this is going to invite people to come in and terrorize us? I don't think so. I think they're nice. They're like, what we need to focus on is repopulating. And when you got that on your mind, the rainbow bridge isn't on your mind.
Well, yeah, that's true. But it's like, why even bother, though? Because there's going to be problems anyway. Like, no matter what. Like, no matter, like, who comes to Asgard, there's going to be a big problem. Like, even imagine with Thor Love and Thunder, you literally have Gore coming in and kidnapping kids. Like, so I don't see why they would even decide to even build another rainbow bridge.
Yeah, we got Stormbreaker if we need to get from one place to another place. And there's also boat. The goat boat.
Exactly.
Number 2, are students in the MCU within the universe, are they learning about 2012? Like it's like a moment in history, the same way students here learn about World War II. Is it now long enough in the MCU where they're like, this is part of our curriculum, they will learn it in class?
I don't know, man. That's actually a really good question.
There's 33 really good questions, okay?
Yeah, I know, but but I was gonna say though, if they were to do so, I mean, yeah, it's been out long enough in the MCU. It's been out for like about 11 years. So, yeah, I mean, I could see them teaching them about it in history class or even like film studies or anything like that, because it was such a big thing for the MCU because it was like the first big team up movie. Like, because before we were getting solo movies like Captain America, Iron Man, and the Hulk.
Yeah.
But this was like our first like big step into actually making a big budget comic book movie, like bringing all these superheroes together, and it paid off big time. Like,
we're being joined by Hot Takes Tuesdays. Hello, Nerdman. You hear us?
Nerdman, what's up?
Yeah, I can hear you. How are you doing? Luke Ponto.
Doing great, man. Thank you.
You know what it is? It's The MCU theme. I know you in your DC fandom is gonna say something negative. I know it's coming. I get it. But for us, can we play ball? Can we be like, fair today with these questions?
MCU is trash, bro. Of course we can.
You know what the next question is, though? The funny thing is, it's an opportunity for you to crap on it. The writer for the new Avengers film was Jeff Loveness, and he's been fired. Why?
He has?
Yeah, he's not going to be writing that film anymore. Jeff Loveness.
It's for Kang Dynasty, isn't it, or is it for Secret Wars?
I believe it was It's Kang Dynasty. Michael Waldron does Secret Wars, I believe. I can fact check that.
Your boy is in trouble, man. I think that maybe they're going in a different direction.
He's Kang Dynasty, yeah.
Yeah, okay, it is Kang Dynasty.
I think your boy's in trouble.
Like, I don't know exactly like why he was fired. Like, biggest suspicion, like why he could have been fired, is because of maybe his script wasn't really following the tricks that the MCU is like chastising these days. Like, I don't know, because look at some of the
be because of his past
in like Phase 4. It's ridiculous.
Phase 4 was his Ant-Man Quantumania. And if you're the guy who writes Quantumania, if it makes the box office this is a performance-related firing, and it you can't be mad at that. Now, I hope they also do that with Kathleen Kennedy when her Star Wars films, or the Indiana Jones. I think that's the coming up next month. If that does poorly,
does really bad like reviews, right?
Awesome. Not because I want a bad movie. Hello, K-Dot. Not because I want a bad Indiana Jones. It's just because if it doesn't make a lot of money, maybe they go, Kathleen Kennedy, you're not the right producer for this entire studio, which takes care of Star Wars. I think this is performance related. So if I see Loveness go because of bad performance, if I see Victoria Alonso go because of poor performances, then it's probably going to be the same thing with Kennedy. But yeah, Jeff
it's
Loveness.
More than likely, but we'll have to see how Dial of Destiny is going to perform at the box office, because we don't know what the box office numbers are going to be. Like it, but at the same time, I'm kind of thinking it might bomb because of the early reviews we've been getting from Cannes Film Festival.
Uh-huh.
But again, we don't know exactly until the film comes out. Like exactly, like think about like or a couple of examples. Like think about like Shazam: Fury of the Gods or Super Mario Brothers, like how they were going to do like when the box office return came around.
Yeah,
Shazam completely flopped because they spoiled a lot of the stuff online. So it's no surprise why it bombed.
It's not because they spoiled a lot of the stuff online. Let's put the
that's exactly what I said. Like
no,
and that's another big thing. Like why I don't know, like
to DC fans, and that's basically, and it's the fandom in general. They've raised a bunch of very, very entitled, highly scrutinizing, overly critical kind of pricks who haven't got the kind of creativity it takes to make these films, and therefore lambast them for no reason and attack them because they're too woke or they're too fucking it's not close enough to the character, or it's not this, or it's not that. And I'm one of them. I'm not separating myself from this cesspool of trash that has emerged out of comic book fandom.
Okay.
Well, there was a time when we were just happy to see a comic book movie out there, and we've gone way past that point. Twitter has spoiled all of that, and so now even the MCU is second guessing themselves.
Well, exactly. Like, I mean, and again, think about this. Like, even like as I said with Shazam: Fury of the Gods, they even The Rock, even when Black Adam was coming out, like he did the kind of the same thing. He kind of spoiled exactly like why you should stay for the mid-credit scene. He spoiled that Henry Cavill was back as Superman.
Uh-huh.
Why did he do that?
Sales.
I don't know exactly why he did that.
No,
and also, again,
you're watching right now Fast and Furious 10.
Online,
he's back in Fast and Furious 10 because the rap spoiled the movie.
No, on Twitter there were a bunch of Snyder fucking bros saying Henry Cavill isn't going to be in the movie, like basically saying it's not worth you going to watch it. So they had to go and spoil it. Same with Wonder Woman, because the Snyder bros were building up kind of negative press around the fucking thing. So they had to go, oh, well, we have to just tell them. So
I was saying that
anybody who would go and see the movie specifically for the Superman cameo will actually, maybe go to the fucking cinemas. That's basically it.
But it still didn't quite make its box office return, though. So,
No, I know. I'm saying it's
I get what you're saying, though. But still at the same time, even if you do that, you're not going to make your box office.
Warner Brothers brings back Cavill, and then they don't watch the movie. Who's like? Why should studios even bother with these fucking guys anymore? I say go to a different genre. Like start exploring sci-fi, all the creative, interesting people in Hollywood. Go to a different genre. Don't deserve you. We don't deserve the attention anymore, really. At least MCU fans, give them this. At least they support their product. So I'll give them that.
There you go.
Vengeance has consumed you.
I agree, King T'Challa. Vengeance has consumed me. Is K-Dot back here or is K-Dot occupied right now? Because I got this question fired up.
I'm here.
Why was Jeff Loveness fired, K-Dot?
Because he wrote a mediocre movie called Ant-Man 3.
Okay.
And poorly introduced Kang, who's supposed to be the new big bad.
But did it perform because it was mediocre?
No, yeah, that plays a part. Now, the box office opening weekend was, it was a decent opening weekend, but the freaking nosedive is because
it went
was
down 70% the next weekend.
That has to do with
a bunch of mediocre movies that didn't perform as badly.
Well, I think it also being an Ant-Man movie and people not really have that much interest. You look at Ant-Man 2, and Ant-Man 2 only made $100 million more than the last movie, but its budget was bigger than the last movie. So that's not really that's not really a growth of the box office if Ant-Man 2 only makes $100 million more than the first movie, because most MCU movies, if it's a sequel, it might double to the first one, like 200, or maybe it might get 300 more than the last, not just 100 million more.
To a billion, it could go from 500 million to a billion. Yeah. I mean, I think with this specific scenario, obviously the underperformance of this movie didn't help. But I don't for instance, they've been doing a bunch of movies recently that I don't think should have got the critical acclaim that they did. Thor: Love and Thunder. But they've been doing some good ones as well. It's not like it's all bad. And I don't think Ant-Man and the Quantumania was the worst offender out of all of them, to be honest. I thought it was
part of its criticism is the title. You just Ant-Man and the Wasp and the Quantumania way too long. Now that may have resulted in an extra 1 million if it was just a coherent title too. I get it was not that significant, but it's a problem.
Right.
I got a comment here from Phantom of the Chillmonger. For you guys to understand why he named himself that, it's because okay, I tweeted this. Some guy named Video White with 3 followers hit me up with something, and I go, this recently created account is the guy or the guys who I talk about on this stream all the time. I go, how they're just the Phantom of Chillmonger. They make new accounts, change their names, antagonize. They write controversial stuff, usually about Captain Marvel and stuff, and go at me. And you can see this guy's created his account in May of 2023 just so he could, or she could, or whoever it is, whatever entity it is. So that's the Phantom of Chillmonger. Now here he comes on the very next stream with the changing the names of Phantom. I know your game, whoever you are. I don't know if it's a foreign agency. I'm pretty sure it is a place with a whole bunch of population that is here to divide us and have us talking about Captain Marvel, feminism versus all that other nonsense stuff that is divisive. That's not what I'm about. And you're a reminder that I need to be on the media and keep it straight fun. So thank you, Phantom of the Monger. He says the high evolutionary.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you think of his question? So
you see, but if I read it and I gave it a thought, and that's all he wants. I'm not gonna talk about an issue like that. That's huge, You're looking, you're trying your hardest. So no, we're not about to do that. Kamoyo Kid, you're a real person. He says, go ahead, Nerdman. What were you saying?
No, I won't respond to it if you don't want me to respond to it. But I'm
not going to respond to it either because obviously,
Yeah,
mean,
sure. If
if
he's
it was
trying
a spoiler, like
Yeah, if you take my
discussion,
word
then
for
yeah,
it,
we can talk about it. But
take my word for it. Every stream, there's always somebody with a brand new name, and I'm like, I've never seen your name be here before, and it's always like the same style of
if
questions.
he's
Oh,
trying to goad you, yeah, okay.
Did
Fine.
you ever try doing subscribers only mode?
yeah, but he could just subscribe, right?
Well, it kind of gives you a limit of like how long you're subscribed to them for, and so you can actually respond in.
Okay, Luke,
a
I'll do
chat.
that. And then if I do that, and dude actually like creates pre-accounts months in advance so that he could use it on me, then it'd be like, damn, this guy's really committed, huh? Yeah,
Makes
I could do
sense,
that.
yeah, but I tried that with mine, and it actually worked out pretty well. So
Is it because writers are being pushed out of the writers' room? No, this was done before the writers' strike happened. We got the news now, but the getting rid of Jeff Loveness happened before the strike. Good question. Big Brel says, "What's up? What's up, Big Brel? Thanks for joining. Assalamu alaikum. What's up? What's up?" Question number 4. Why does an Ant-Man make a restaurant where you shrink to eat the meal? That's an experience that people will pay a lot of money for, so it'll pay off the cost for your Pym particles, which I'm sure you know, no one even knows how to make Pym particles. They probably cost 10 cents to make a Pym particle tube. We don't know, but as soon as people know how to make Pym particles, they'll just charge up whatever the ingredients are. But you know,
a really good film about that. Do you remember the one with Matt Damon where he shrinks, where they shrink down
downsizing.
Downsizing.
Oh.
It means that the cost of their living is much, much cheaper, and they can live in virtual paradise.
Oh yeah, I remember that movie.
Do they answer this question, Nerdman? Do they have a reason for why they don't just do it? Like it's a good idea in downsizing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think so, because I wouldn't want to, trust giant human beings with my fucking life and money and everything.
Right. Yeah. Because
fucking. That's mine.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be the same size as an insect, so that's already out. Any insect, for that matter, even the ones that are harmless, I don't want to be close to the same size, because you're at that point, you are bottom of the food chain.
You're vulnerable, bro.
I don't know, man. Like, I kind of would agree, but I don't know exactly. Like I can't literally like why would you trust anybody that's like 50 times your size? Like when you're shrunken down, like imagine like I was shrunken down like to where my table is, like, and excuse me, and then I see somebody bring in a huge plate of food that's like again, it's bigger than I am. Like I
think
like
the food. So that you can have like a
shrink. Yeah, but they shrink the food. Like I would just shrink the food. Like that's all I would do. I would just shrink it. Like I wouldn't just. But if I shrunk myself for that, I would shrink the food. Like,
it's an interesting question because. So bring the question up again. So there's a lot of stuff in the MCU that they could make a ton of money off. Like I don't know. I don't understand why. Like what's his name? Wilson
Tony
was like struggling like financially, or any of them like really would be struggling financially. I mean, he could write a book, he could do like so many different things. But in terms of Ant-Man, one thing I don't understand about him is, can anybody be Ant-Man? Like that suit can make anyone into, or is there something special that you have to physically have to?
If you watch the first movie, there was a lot of training about how to punch, because if it's too soft, it's a tap, and it could be a bullet if it's too strong. There's technique that you need to go through.
Well, it was all about
difference. Otherwise, you could give everyone that technology, right? Like, why not just give Captain America that and give Tony Stark and all of them, and then the Avengers would be even more hardcore.
Because Hank Pym said never trust the Stark.
Doesn't have an Iron Man suit, for instance.
But you got to watch the movies. They said that Hank Pym has a fallen out with all the Shield people, all the corrupt people, including Stark. So that's why that was never given to them. The only reason they ever had the quantum realm technology in Endgame was because Hank Pym was dusted, and here comes Scott, like, here, use our tech,
Okay,
right,
but again, it would be quite useful for them all to have Iron Man shields, or Captain America shields, or be able to shrink.
But there's a reason for that too. The Wakandans keep vibranium to themselves. Nobody has vibranium on their suits.
Okay. Well,
Right.
You answered my question.
Does Falcon have vibranium on his suit?
Now, yes.
Don't remember.
Well, he has vibranium on just the wings. I mean, but I imagine the suit is still like a slightly protective suit that can, like Kevlar. It's probably, but those wings is definitely vibranium.
I don't know. Riri couldn't take her Ironheart suit, so I don't think that he should.
Yeah. Oh, you make a great point. Yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Make that suit as well. Like, isn't she just like some like kid from university, right? Like,
yes, she's a genius. You got a
Yeah,
problem with Riri Williams?
No, I'm just saying that it would cost a lot to make that suit. You'd need the materials, you'd need everything, right? She made an even bigger one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks
Well,
big.
in those set photos, I mean, her suit, it looks like a War Machine suit, but it's probably made out of like average parts you can find anywhere. Hey, everybody can get plutonium and titanium and stuff. Everybody can get it.
Right.
See, it's easy at this point.
They're saying in the live chat, Falcon's whole suit is vibranium. He's an Avenger, that's why he's got it. Okay, so
I mean, it might be. I know the wings are for sure vibranium, but because if that's the case, what does he really need the shield for? Because
it's symbolic.
Really?
No, I know it's symbolic, but like, okay, you have a bulletproof suit, you have bulletproof wings. Because remember in Falcon Winter Soldier when at the end he did that cool thing where he took the wings and wrapped them around that person and made a giant dome.
Yeah.
He was completely, couldn't be touched. I'm not saying he can't have the shield, but it's like, dang, you're invincible at this point.
Pretty much,
like super invincible at this point.
Yeah. Let's bring it back to the live chat because Phantom of the Monger asks me another question. Now, did you not just hear me, say things and everything I said, but it didn't register because this is from a foreign country where the account doesn't really get it. It's clearly the continual, questions and writing is because there's a language barrier. You validified my theory live on stream, like I'm saying.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I'm saying though. Like, because the thing is, like, they give you those kinds of questions because they really think that they could just spread it all across the internet, like for no reason whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
He's an Avenger, that's why he got it. She's still at college. The shield insists instead of a gun like Cap. I don't want him to have a gun. I don't want any Avengers to have guns.
Captain
the only one that even deserves even having a gun is, of course, Black Widow herself. Like,
yeah.
No, but that was one of the most annoying things I ever saw in the Avengers. Like, it was, like Hulk would be there smashing Thor has to hammer him, people, and then she came out with a gun, like, pew, pew. It reminded me of, like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that Eddie Murphy movie, fuck's sake, Harlem Nights, where there's a guy with a machine gun shooting up a store. And then, like, after they finish with the machine gun, one guy comes out with like a six chamber gun, like that. Like, put that little fucking gun down.
My ass quick.
It's all about the male demographic. Number 5.
That's
What does
Nerdman?
What does a casual MCU fan look like? How tall is he? He.
I don't know, like ranging between 4 to 5 foot.
Casual MCU fan is a looks
slightly
like
armish, slightly ill looking. No, they look normal, don't they? They look like everyone else.
Yeah, I have to agree on that. Like, because
what does a Snyder fan look like? Do you think? Because I haven't seen them. I don't know what they look like behind their warrior keyboards.
Exactly. It's like one guy representing 30 accounts. That's what a Snyder fan looks like. He's multiple.
Right. Like, and even a casual MCU fan is just. I don't even know what a casual MCU fan would even be.
Well, what age is a casual MCU fan? It started in 2008. So someone who was born 2002, you know?
So they'd be like about 6 years old, like, or like by the time the MCU started. But like as it progresses, I think the casuals will probably be like around 15 or so. Like,
I
if you
think
really think about
MCU fans are going through that stage. I went through it as a teenager where I kind of rejected the things that I loved. As a
right?
kid.
Yeah, because
And
well, I
then
started becoming a
later,
bigger,
you
like
kinda
a bigger fan of the
"Dude, those
MCU.
things were fucking awesome. I don't know why, and I think that's why why they're reacting to some of the films, because they're the same fucking I never really like was a huge fan of like MCU films specifically, but to me they're the same quality, if not better now than they were in like say phase one.
True.
So
Yeah, for sure. But like, I didn't really start becoming a big MCU fan until I saw Doctor Strange. So
oh really?
that's actually kind of
2016.
when, that's when I was about,
Yeah.
I was about 13 years old by that time. So there you go.
Another way to look at it is
That's
it was
what I'm saying. Like once they're like 18, 19, then they're looking back at it going, oh, it's not cool. Then they listen to the
Well, I
critics.
mean, I still like a
Martin's-
lot of the things that the MCU is doing, but it's not like it hasn't really lived up to that since it kind of because a lot of the tricks that they've been doing these days have been kind of wearing me out a little bit. But I'm still enjoying a lot of the movies. Like,
I enjoy all comic book movies, though. I mean, like even like bad ones in some sense, I enjoy. I think there's only like, 2 comic book movies in my life that I didn't enjoy, and that was Batman and Robin and Wonder Woman 1984. Those are the only
the
ones.
one that I definitely did not like. I think out of all comic book movies, I think my least favorite is probably Catwoman with Halle Berry. That is my least favorite
I
comic book.
enjoyed that one even. It was
the
so
male demographic.
Not just hold up a second there. Hold your horses. Like, it's not well done at all. Like, it's very poorly directed, and plus, it's not even well acted. And,
No, I know.
I mean,
was her name even Selena Kyle in the movie too?
Her name was Cecilia.
I don't even know.
No, it
Big
was
mistake there. So,
You know what her name should have been if they wanted to make money?
what?
My name is Carol.
$1 million. I mean, $1 billion.
But also,
Yeah, her name
I
was
really
like
did not
Patience
Morbius.
Phillips.
If you guys know me, I despise Morbius.
Oh,
One of the worst
Morbius
comic book films
is
ever.
up there with lack of enjoyment, but it was so hilariously, boldly average.
But
like
think about this though, like
And
it
it
would have
didn't have
been a
Spider-Man.
much more fun film to watch back in the '90s. Like,
I
it
don't
would've been
think
a little bit more ahead of its
that film
time.
would ever have been good. I think that film, no matter when you could have put that in like the 1960s, and it still would have been fucking awful. But like the
Shut up, Adrian.
every single scene was just like something you'd seen in a different comic book movie. Like was
Well,
just
not just-
extreme, and the
Well, not
boldness.
just that. Everything else that you've even seen out of that movie, like you've seen.
Hey, let's
other
not give
studios
attention to
do-
Morbius. No, that's not
I'm
an
just
MCU
kind
film.
of getting
I
my
don't.
events out of the way quick. Like,
I have
Okay.
no
The
interest in
thing
this
is,
Sony
like,
stuff. Like,
because
we
I've
can't
seen
give it.
so much more better than that. Like that,
Alright.
it put me to sleep.
All right,
Yeah.
you done? Question was
Yeah.
about
Alright, we're
casual MCU fans, just your average everyday dude. They wear the new T-shirts to the superhero film. That's more than casual, I think. Not Winter Soldier.
Well, I think it would probably be like to the bigger.
Yeah, it's more than a
big
casual.
like Captain America, Iron Man, anything like that.
If you wearing the t-shirts, you more than a casual. But if you do something like, let's say you're an MCU fan, but you consume the comic media, then you're not a casual fan. But if you're an MCU fan, and let's say you're such an MCU nerd that you know all the costume design people from the credits of every single MCU movie. Yeah, you're not a casual MCU fan.
It's like Luke just said. It's not until Doctor Strange, which was the 14th MCU film, before he could say he enlightened himself. So I would say
Right.
that 14 movies in.
So,
Well, it's only because like that's kind of what opened my eyes to it. Like, kind of see because it made me realize that they actually had more to offer than what they were just giving us before. So
We got Phantom of the Monger. He says that I really hope they bring back Terrence Howard back as Kang, which of course is stirring the pot because Kang is a hot topic issue, and I get it. Thanks for the input. I'll take the bait.
Thanks a lot.
And can I ask what you thought of
I'm
Doctor
gonna be
Strange
depressed now
2,
even talking about Kang.
What did you think of Doctor Strange 2? Just quick.
Good.
Luke?
It was great, actually. Not as good as the first, but I really liked it a lot.
You're crazy. You're bonkers. It was way better. But yeah, okay. Everyone loves what they love.
I'm also kind of at the same time, I have a bias towards Scott Derrickson. So
Okay. He made a really good movie recently with that Ethan
the
Hawke.
Black Phone.
Black, yeah, that was really good. I really enjoyed
Love that movie.
Casual fans have zero loyalty beyond the first viewing. Terrence Howard is Kang. LOL. Man, I like that. I like the man. Every time we bring up Terrence Howard,
I don't want to talk about Kang anymore. Jesus.
I'll talk Jonathan Majors when it's time.
I'll talk about Kang
after this stream.
Let me be real though. I'll talk about Kang, but Jonathan Majors though, like with a lot of his controversy, I'm gonna get depressed.
So I think he's innocent of it. After the stream, me and the Dre Max show, we're gonna do a live stream, probably like 2 hours from exactly right now, where we're gonna cover Majors and some of the updates, which are not really updates, but look forward to that. What'd you say, Nerdman?
Thanks for live streaming during my life when I plan to live stream.
We planned this out a week ago.
Hey, Nerdman, check the private.
Right.
Ooh, check the private chat. Hey.
Okay.
Okay. Question number 5 of 33. Burning MCU question 6. Who has the best physique? Monica Rambeau.
Zeke.
Who does William Hurt play?
Thunderbolt Ross.
Thunderbolt Ross.
You need to go.
Who has the best physique? I think. Well, he's not here, but
you can't.
I think Chris Evans.
No,
Chris Evans has the best physique.
That's actually a really good question.
You're gonna turn your back on your boy? You think Chris Evans has the best physique?
Okay. Who's my boy?
Jonathan Walker, U.S. agents.
Jonathan.
He had
from Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Scratch that. Killmonger. What are we talking about? It's Killmonger, man.
Oh.
That physique Michael B was sporting was fucking hard.
Yeah.
He went in.
Am I right?
That's Chris. Yeah, for me, it's probably Chris Evans, Killmonger. If you look at the women, obviously Black Widow. What are we talking like in a
one would you write
like
most
fit, or
basically?
because if I'm throwing my personal stuff in there, I think Kat Dennings has the best physique because she got the.
Oh, really?
gone.
Here we go again.
I always thought
if we're talking peak like healthy looking body, then I'm gonna go Chris Evans and Killmonger.
Okay, Chris Evans right out of the super soldier tank thing, best he's ever looked. Yep.
Well, yeah, I mean, because like it's muscle down, dude. It looks great. What else I gotta say?
That's all you gotta say. Then no one's gonna judge
Bale, Christian Bale would have done that without CGI, bro.
Here we go. Why would he do it with CGI though? He wouldn't. He's a method actor. Like
that's what I'm saying. That's he's no
I know.
Big Bro says Monica Rambeau, or what's her name? Teyana Paris, I should say.
Teyana Paris, yeah.
Yeah.
Jared gives it to you.
Forgetting our girl from Wakanda herself, fucking
Lupita or Denai?
Lupita Nyong'o.
Okay. Agent Hill. Ooh, she had Captain America time traveling.
So now we're just naming all the women. It's just like all of them.
Oh no, that's Agent Carter.
Well, I can just put Wanda Maximoff then.
Nerd Mafia, hey yo.
I said Wanda. I thought Wanda's cute. She's cute. Anyway,
bro, all the brand new T-shirts. The bros had Captain America T-shirts. Yeah, that's true. Scalise that Lupita can get them chocolate cheeks clap. Thanks for the input, Sleep. We appreciate
not by you.
Get out of here.
Number 7, K-Dot. Which movie will you likely rewatch next out of all 33 of them?
MCU in general.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be there's not me trying to I'm like taking out. I've not rewatched any in like a while.
Okay.
Like most of them have been, even the ones I like from the back in the day, like Winter Soldier. I haven't seen that in years. I remember it, but I haven't watched it in a while. I seen it. I'd say this. I did see Winter Soldier more than most MC movies. Civil War.
So then is that most likely to rewatch then?
Yeah, the ones I watch the most are ones I most likely rewatch. But I watch more old Marvel movies anyways than the newer ones.
Look, you're gonna get upset with me with this, right? The problem is when I watch MCU movies again, like I was really excited to watch Doctor Strange 2 again because I was like, wow, I was like blown away in the cinema. And then I watched it at home and I was like, because I'd seen all the critiques, which I think are still way over harsh online. I've seen all the critiques and I was like, what are they talking about? This is brilliant. This is Sam Raimi at his finest. And all of this kind of thing. And I watched it again and I found it a little bit slow and boring, to be honest. I didn't feel like I was...
Fair enough.
No, what you need is time to get your mind right.
I agree.
So
I've seen the light.
Well,
I would like to watch Black Widow again as well to reconfirm that because I really like that one. So
yeah,
that's the first thing you said that wasn't batshit crazy.
Yeah,
but for me though,
Guardians 3, fantastic. I'd watch that.
But I think for me though, I think it's going to be between about 3 movies for me. Like, so one of them easily Thor Ragnarok, which is my favorite out of any MCU movie. That's my favorite. Of course, Multiverse of Madness. Even though I love the first Doctor Strange, I just kind of find Multiverse of Madness a little bit more rewatchable.
Mm-hmm.
And other one would be the first Guardians of the Galaxy.
I watched all 3 recently. That was fun.
Good for you.
I saw Guardians Volume 3 a second time last week. Dude, the emotions hit just as hard, man. Like, God.
And that's why my answer is Guardians 3.
On second viewing, oh, is it? Okay, cool. On second viewing, I didn't like the Guardians bit as much, and I realized it was much longer than I felt than it was. I love the origin story of Rocket, and then the third act.
Oh my God!
A little messy, but
see a grown man cry for a backstory. You got let me watch that movie, like, because I will cry my eyes out every time.
Do you be honest? Do you think it would be that movie if it was just a Rocket origin?
I think I probably would have cried even more. I probably would have been crying for like a whole day. Like,
yeah.
Because again, like the way that the way that James Gunn does his backstory is incredibly emotional. Like, no spoilers or anything, but again, the way that they do it, it just not only will make you cry, but it'll actually hit you really hard. Like it'll resonate with you.
Mm-hmm. Next question is 7. It's 8. After Iron Man and Captain America, who can you call the number 3 MCU superhero? Thor.
Doctor Strange.
Wow.
I don't even think there's a 3. I thought it was always a 2.
Actually, no, I'll change that. I'm gonna go with my boy Star-Lord.
Really? Okay.
I like Star-Lord's my favorite Guardian, bro. Like I love Star-Lord. Like,
okay.
I'll elaborate on that later if you need.
You know what though? Nerdman's probably the best guy to give this answer. Who, from your observations, was the number 3? Because you did see Iron Man and Cap as 1 and 2. Who was number 3?
Honestly, they tried with Thor and it didn't really work. Hulk and Thor are just like they just trashed on them so badly that it just.
You notice how the question was who was number 3, and he took the opportunity to trash on who it's not. Just give me number 3, please.
I'm just trying. I'm trying to say
he's Nerdman's right though. He's making
Thor. They tried to put Thor as the third guy. Okay. I guess Black Panther maybe, but then Chadwick died, so you can't really say that anymore. So
it's no. Chadwick dying wasn't the problem. Killing T'Challa was the problem because one is an actor and one is a character who could have had a new actor play the character. Don't ever put it on Chadwick Boseman.
No, I'm not. What, you think I'm blaming him for dying? No, I'm saying that unfortunately, because of his death, You know, because he was a big deal. I think he was a big, he was a big deal as a character with a $1 billion opening movie. You know, I think he could have done like really big things. So I don't know, Doctor Strange.
I will say though, if you asked me this question in 2020, I would tell you Black Panther is actually the number 3 guy, most popular, even with the short amount of sightings that we've had with him. I would still tell you it's Panther.
Yeah.
So we got Thor, we got T'Challa.
No one even said Spider-Man.
No one said Spider-Man.
It's just because look at
Spider-Man.
Because look at Nerman brings a great point. Look at Endgame. Look at the lineup of Cap, Iron Man, and Thor. Thor just looks like the odd man out. Like, yes, obviously physically he's looking,
well, they
but
treat him like the Big Lebowski in Endgame, anyways.
Right, like he doesn't. That's why I say he's not even top 3, because when you look at that lineup, him just standing there like almost ruins this epic looking shot of these two. And that's what I say. It's just the big two. It's Steve and it was Tony. Yeah. Thor's not really there because he looks like the odd man out, and his movies was always the odd man out. To be fair, Iron Man 2 and 3, huge steps down, but Tony Stark continuously as a character remained strong in each of the films and even in his guest appearances.
I don't know why they didn't just make it like a 4 thing and have Hulk and Thor as equals, but they're the what do you call it, the muscle,
right?
You know,
yeah, like, they never played on
that. Obviously Tony's the brains and they're the muscle. I think that could have worked, but I don't think they know what to do with powerful characters, basically.
All right. We got. Am I caught up on the live chats? I think I am. Next question, number 8. Where are we? There we go. 9. Was there only one guidance counselor at Kamala Khan's school? Because he did talk to Bruno as well as talking to Kamala.
It's supposed to be more than one. When I went to school at high school, we had, so how they did it, we had a guidance counselor for each grade. So it was a 10th grade guidance counselor, an 11th grade guidance counselor, and a senior. You can talk to whoever well, not really. You can talk to the other ones if you want to, but they specifically was set for each of the grades. But we had 4 for all of them.
Right.
So my school did it where your last name made which guidance counselor. So you would have them for all 4 grades of high school. Is high school 4 grades or 5 grades in America?
It's
high school is 4 grades.
Okay. What is it over there where you're from, Nerdman?
6.
You guys call it secondary school, right?
Secondary school.
Right.
Yeah. What was the question?
It was about.
I'll be right back.
How many guidance counselors?
That's why I was. Yeah, don't worry about it. Forget about
it. It's like a nothing question. I'm just gonna say, there was one guidance counselor. It was a poor school.
I haven't seen this specific show, so I couldn't.
William Moloch. William with the multi-inclusive.
I'm like, For people who don't know me, I am not a racist. It was a joke.
Thor. And then says, I think Nerdman has a point. Powerful characters seem to have some sort of problem in the MCU. They don't really know what to do with them.
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, I thought it was I think it's just a live action thing, because I still don't understand why you can have Vin Diesel stomping out a parking lot as a regular human, but you can't take Thor and have him be at the peak of his power. Now, granted, you can't do that for every single story. That's why you got to do a workaround. Like, for example, I've recently been watching the Justice animated show. Superman in the Justice animated show holds back a lot. At times, there's times I'm like, dang, man, you're Superman. Why are you getting beat up? But then I think about it. He's holding back on purpose, because if he unleashed his full punch that he can do, he would almost, he would shake a whole city block. Like, probably cause an earthquake. But there's times
in that show.
Yeah.
They nerfed him, and I think it's a good idea that they nerfed him.
Yeah, I didn't think it was bad either because he wasn't. It was weak enough to where he can get injured by
Certain people,
certain
certain.
things. But
Yeah.
he was still strong enough to, for example, there was an episode with Mongol where he went to Battle World and he fought Mongol and he it worked. I think it worked. Just dial back their power a bit if you have to, but don't completely take away what makes them who they are.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's laughing at, but he says ha 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 ha. And maybe he's laughing at what Felicity said about the Hulk. The next question is 10. What's the difference between Marvel and DC movies? I'll answer this one first. The difference between Marvel and DC movies is
DC movies are better.
no. I'm trying to find the clip.
Marvel sounds a lot better.
There you go.
Yeah, DC movies are way better. Just as I actually rewatched Superman 78. That's a good movie. I mean, I always thought it was good, but that's a really good movie.
I told you it's a really fucking good movie.
Like just on a rewatch of it, I like Superman 2 more, but 78, that's like those first, I'd say the first 30 minutes. Really good.
The music, everything, it's just really great. There's only one scene I don't like, which is Lois and Clark flying, or Superman flying through there. I thought that was a little bit silly with the poem or whatever that she's saying.
Yeah.
But the difference between Marvel and DC movies, I don't think or MCU movies. I think the MCU has a formula that works for a certain audience. I think it's a good formula for that audience. It works for that audience, but that DC at its best, not at its worst. It's worst. It's shit. But at its best, they provide a kind of alternative to that formula.
That is the nicest way you could put it. Fine. There's more individuality in DC. There's ways you could word it, and you'd prefer to word it that way. Can you just help me read this comment? I can't really make out what he's trying to say.
Chill, you do realize that with the platforming of the troll in the bottom right corner, you have destroyed the sanctity of 33 MCU questions.
He's right. You know how many times you swore on this show so far? You had like 3 swear words.
Oh, Jesus.
My ears. You can't say that word, I think.
Oh, I can't?
No, I mean, I'm joking, but I like basically what he's saying is true, though. I don't really care if you have to say a swear word, but Mike does put us on his store, and he just while people are shopping, all the customers over there in Connecticut, what's up? Subscribe to Chillmonger.
Those kiddos in Connecticut need to hear our language the way it is because they just need to hear. We need to be blunt and honest.
Am I right?
We want the kiddos to be raised properly. We can't raise them with lies. Got to be ourselves.
Star-Lord could do it,
I'm joking, guys. Be very mindful of how you speak around children, just for everybody. Very mindful how you speak around children. They're impressive. Right.
Joseph's in the building. We were talking about Creed and Rocky just a few hours prior to this stream over on Multi-Topic Talk. Sony makes better Marvel movies.
No.
Maybe.
They made better Spider-Man movies, but that's it.
Oh, I wasn't even considering the Venom, Morbius, Craven. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about
They have made the better Spider-Man movies so far in history. Even the animated ones, they've made the better ones. But other than that, no.
DC's better with power scaling? No, everyone is just a monster. What do you mean?
I would say this, even though I'm not a fan of the Snyder stuff, he did scale some of the characters' powers up until Justice League in a good balanced way. I think Superman was scaled up too high, and Wonder Woman scaled too low in Justice League. But for the most part,
it was consistent throughout their movies.
Yeah, their power level was because I think Wonder Woman.
I would like Wonder Woman to be more powerful, but it was actually consistent.
Yep, I agree. Like Batman, he was set a certain way in BVS. He was very comic booky, and that continued over in Justice League. He didn't do too much, but he didn't have his full abilities restricted. He was just put in a situation where he's not as useful compared to the others.
Right.
True or false, K. Cap is a good nickname.
Yep, it's the most consistent nickname that we need to keep for Cap.
All right, Nerdman, true or false?
Yeah, for Captain Marvel. Yeah, for the real. Yeah.
I think everyone in the live chat is going to answer to this that it is indeed a true statement to say that Cap is a better nickname. But Felicity said that Sony got the Spider-Man rights, but their storyteller's sucking right now. They need a Sony Spider-Man to make all that stuff work.
Agreed.
Sony versus Spider-Man for Venom for
live action, like Venom and Let There Be Carnage and all of that kind of stuff.
I don't like a lot of DC films, but they do power scaling better than Marvel. All right, Bryce says it's true. No, Cap is good. DC films are more serious in tone. True. Brywood says, Big Bro says the Russo was like, forget about power scaling in Infinity War. No.
Thank you. Yes.
They was.
Luke,
that's the same. When Infinity War came, there was issues before. Like Iron had a lot of bias towards him, where he ended up beating Hulk. But Infinity War, man, that power scaling was off the charts. I was like, what is happening? I could like Captain America was so. See, this is why Captain America is so amazing, but so blasphemous. I'll say it's Captain America had the most consistent power scaling in the MCU in general. But when he took that punch from Thanos and got back up, I was like, oh my gosh, he's a god.
He held Thanos' hand up like
Thanos like, why are you so?
But that wasn't even the rest of it. That was just there was the Tony Stark taking on Thanos. I was just like, all right, this guy's just let's forget about it.
Are you done? Are you done?
But I was like, Tony in the MCU is like the Batman for DC. Like he found any.
He's gonna be on Batman. He's gonna be on Batman. There's Batman like he had prep time and shit before he be on Batman. Batman never went hands with fucking Darkseid. I'm sorry.
Language. Luke, the question is Cap a good nickname?
Yes and no.
You got to say whether that's true or false. There's only one way you can answer this one. True or false?
Oh, my bad. You can see
look at the live chat, okay? Look at what he said. Look what he said. And that answer.
All right, I'll go through that.
Much better.
And Kabir says he used the power of freedom to
True or false, Luke? The Spider-Man name reveal. Oh, did I not finish that question? Well, I was gonna say, was the Spider-Man name reveal good?
In what?
Yes, it actually. Like, I'll be honest about this. Like, it actually really it made me scared what was gonna happen next. Like, when Far From Home ended and the name reveal, I was like, oh no, this isn't good. And then
you're talking about the title.
What? Yeah, and then you're going into No Way Home.
Yeah, the reveal at the end of the movie where J. Jonah Jameson says Spider-Man's real name is Peter Parker. Was that revealed?
That was Mysterio.
Yeah. Sorry, Mysterio.
Mysterio revealed that, and then it ends on a huge cliffhanger. And then as soon as you go into No Way Home, it picks up right where it left off, and I was like, "Oh no, this is not good." Like,
why?
This is not good.
Why wasn't that good? I don't understand.
It was a great reveal, but it wasn't good for Peter Parker.
You mean this isn't good for Peter Parker? Okay, got you.
Yeah, because he was going to start getting a lot more controversy around social media about killing Mysterio.
Look, most people are saying that yes, it is. It's true. Brywood says that it's no. Perp just says yerp because that's just what's wrong with him. Look. The beginning of the movie with that starting it off, the events, oh my God, we got to run away. Entertaining. It kind of got dull for the next 20 minutes of it. But the reveal itself, yeah, I'm going true. It was a good, solid.
I think they I like how they handled it in those first couple minutes up until they get to the school. Like the first couple minutes when Peter's back at home and he's closing all the windows, solid opening.
Yeah.
I think they should have tried to show more of the horrors of it. Because when he gets to the school, I mean, he's just because I thought it was going to be a bunch of people constantly yes, there's people looking at him, but people You know, people get with celebrities, they get obsessed. Like they might sneak into your house or sneak into your backyard just to do some weird stuff. Like I kind of wish that because he was a celebrity at that point, but I wish it got a little bit more intense. Like, you know, because people also hated him. Like, I don't know, somebody throws a rock at his head and he starts, you know, like it like really show the horrors of it. Or someone throws a rock at MJ, hits her in the head, and you know, it's like really show the horrors of the situation because he was in a bad spot. There's people who hated him, people who loved him.
I think when it really went off the tracks for me was like there was just a little bit of thoughtlessness to the movie because I think they just were like, there's going to be extra Spider-Man in here. It's going to make $1 billion. So I don't think they really thought through certain aspects of the script. And like, for instance, this woman who he saves on the bridge, right? Like who's the dean of this school, MIT. She's the dean of MIT. I'm like, it would have been much more powerful if she had said, wow, you saved me. Thank you. But this is precisely what happened here is why I can't have you or anyone associated with you in the school.
In my school.
And that would have made the the end of the movie work, where he walks away from his friends and says they're better off without me. So there's just little things like that,
No, I'm with you though. I think that's valid. In the live chat, we got a guy named Scarlet Pimpernel, someone I've never seen before. I'm sure it's a real person, and it's not the guy who I kicked from the stream prior and just writing stuff. That was great TV, says Aggressively Relaxing. What does he mean, though, when Mysterio talked and gave the reveal? Is that what you mean?
I think it was on a billboard in New York, so like
yeah.
So I mean, but the quality of like I think it was a phone that he was using to put that like for J. Jonah Jameson to confiscate. Yeah, it was like wow, like it's weird, like because the audio was glitching, like through that billboard. So
it was realistic.
Yeah, very realistic because he was about to die.
Mysterio has some good CGI going on.
No Way Home was great. The Brick, loved that Daredevil.
It wasn't even like the 5th best Spider-Man movie. Like,
which one?
No Way Home.
I love No Way Home. Like,
I know you do. I'm sure you do. But like, it's not a Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is way better. Spider-Man 1 is better. I'd say the Amazing Spider-Man's better. No, the multiverse one, the cartoon, better.
Oh. Would you say, Nerdman, true or false, a hashtag on the emojis that they do, the branded Twitter tweets, do they make you want to use the hashtags when they've got a little emoji of their hero right there? True.
I like those. True.
I've never used them.
Then it would be false. Well, I can't believe that. I can't believe you never actually tweeted something with the Batman when that came out in March last year. You never tweeted something hashtag the Batman, and then you saw the little bat logo. You never got like, oh, I got to tweet again because I want to use it. Never?
No. I never.
Well, I mean, like anytime I like get any like film tweets now, like anytime I say that I'm going to a movie, like they have that emoji like right next to the hashtag. So
really? Wow.
They did that with Super Mario Brothers with that little question mark box. So
I need
to use sense because it actually resonates with the movie.
So.
Yeah, I need to use the hashtags more.
Well, Bry is with you. Bry says false. So I guess it's an England thing. Perp says yes. Big Bro says No Way Home is what I call an epic mess of a movie, and I love it. Diesel says comic-wise, Daredevil's acrobatics in She-Hulk was on point, but I still hate that show because Felicity was saying that. Wait, she said earlier. She said she loves Daredevil's appearance better than in She-Hulk. No, the hallway scene in She-Hulk was very good. The courtroom scene.
I kind of just thought that
Daredevil it was barely a hallway scene though. It was quick.
Okay, but when he was in the courtroom and he's like, I can smell the jet fuel that you installed. You didn't follow the instructions.
Good, like with Daredevil, but everything else that was surrounding Daredevil for me and She-Hulk was just completely wasted. Like,
I mean, it was a fall from grace from the TV show, which is still to my day, I think, one of the best adaptations of a comic book character. Like, it's up there in the top 5 adaptations. Like
Perp, you
that
need to
shit
change.
was amazing.
True.
Your Yellow Jacket thumbnails need to go back to what it was prior. Don't listen to these guys and change stuff. Number 14, true or false? We have seen the last of the Infinity Gauntlet. False. No way.
False.
False.
Hopefully not.
But you think we're going to
There's
see it in
probably more
Loki?
that they're going to offer with it, but we don't know exactly what they're going to do. Like,
You think we're going to see it in Loki?
Yeah, we might see it again
possibly.
there. Might see it in
It's a
Secret Wars.
possibility. We don't know exactly like what's going to happen, but it's a possibility.
They were used as like paperweights, weren't they? Like the stones.
The stones. Yeah.
Yeah.
But now I can see like if in Ironheart she might go to where Tony Stark lives and you'll see his Infinity Gauntlet that he made. We're not done with the Infinity Gauntlet. We'll keep seeing these things. Doctor Strange, they had it in the flashback scene. We saw an Infinity Gauntlet on Thanos' hand in that flashback. It's not gonna go away.
You just reminded me that Tony Stark made a gauntlet.
Yeah, it's smart. Yeah.
Smart guy. Very smart.
Do you remember that main attraction it was promoting at like I think that Marvel campus thing where it was the Avengers versus King Thanos with the beard? Did you see that going around?
I don't really remember that going around.
Something. Did that massive dwarf, the giant dwarf, did he make Mjolnir? Or did he just make Stormbreaker?
Mjolnir also. I think
He
that's
made Mjolnir.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
And he made
Stormbreaker too. And
Stormbreaker.
Yep.
And he made the gauntlet that Thanos was wearing. Right?
Yep.
So it has to be mystical stuff that made Mjolnir.
Yes.
So I've asked this question before. I'm not going to go on like this is a new question. Does that mean that Iron Man can make a hammer? He can make Mjolnir, and he can make a hammer because, like, you know, essentially their magic is just magic to us. It's actually science. Can he make a hammer that is only can be held by somebody who's worthy?
Yeah.
Oh, the enchantment I don't know about, but the Uru metal of it, I think he could make it if he could find Uru or synthetically create it the same way the heart-shaped herb in the Wakanda, whatever, how they made a fake heart-shaped herb. I think that's the thing. I think it can be done. What am I looking at, Kid?
And is that enchantment science? So is the because
Stormbreaker doesn't have the enchantment. Only Mjolnir has it.
It wasn't magic. It was science that we just don't understand. So was the enchantment that Anthony Hopkins or Odin gave to the hammer, was that science?
By Thor's explanation, yes.
Yep.
Okay.
I know, but you got me there, man. If you question me, I'm not going to have answers. If you keep at this line of questioning, I'm not going to be able to satisfy you. False. Okay. Nebula's going to use it. Yeah, Nebula will use it just like comic book.
Nebula's definitely going to use that.
The Invisible Woman in FF4 in the MCU. Oh, he's asking about the casting and stuff. I told you this person is the same person as before. Just looking for that woman controversy. I know what you mean.
Chill, I got the picture up.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, let's go. Here it is.
So this wasn't. So this is official, like from Disney, but it's not like teasing of what's going to happen in the MCU. This was for like the campus, right?
Yeah.
But you see, they have two scenes on it. It might be something they might do, in maybe in Secret Wars. You know, maybe this Thanos might show up. But it's kind of interesting that they set this up like this to not probably do something with it later, because these are all official MCU versions. This isn't random versions. These are the MCU versions straight from Disney. And you see at the bottom, you see people on the ride experiencing whatever this is. So.
Oh, okay.
So,
you're trying to talk about the Avengers movie. You're talking about a ride?
Yeah, but I feel like they may possibly use this because most of their rides is based around what's happened in the MCU or what's going on. Like at the Avengers campus, they literally have this whole attraction where Ultron is a Avengers villain and it's Scott and them fighting. Not sure if y'all seen the trailer, but it was a leaked trailer. Kamala, Cap, and all of them was fighting Ultron. We know Ultron been dead since Avengers 2. He's not a consistent Avengers villain.
But it was part of that attraction, the event.
Right.
You know,
So
don't forget, Pirates.
We might see that Thanos in Secret Wars, maybe, hopefully.
The movie Jungle Cruise, the movie Pirates of the Caribbean. That sometimes just they'll do a ride or something Disney World related for the sake of the movies, and then the movies will advertise the rides for years to come. Okay, I'll give you an example. Toy Story has Andy's World or Andy's House, where you can eat at a restaurant that is just like Andy's room. And there's moments where they'll say Andy's coming, and you'll hear the footsteps, and everyone's got to freeze in the middle of the Disney World restaurant.
They also had like rides at Disney's California Adventure that was known like because of A Bug's Life, known as the Flicks Fun Fair. So that's another example. Back in 2002.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was around the time that Monsters Inc. was released, like on video. So they decided to make an attraction based off of A Bug's Life.
And since they know that's what's coming, then they're like, well, listen, in 2026, when that Secret Wars movie happens, where they get the Spider-Man from another universe, you saw on the bottom right side, or right down there was an animated version of Spider-Man. Maybe they'll make a deal with Sony, and that Spider-Verse movie will cross over with this multiversal thing. So
I don't know how they're going to do that, though, but we'll see.
Who cares how they do it? It's a multiverse movie. They need no explanation. You're just going to see people come out of portals, or just not even show me the portal. They're just, look who's here, Nightcrawler.
I think if they do it, they got it not look exactly because the technology was set like that. But like Roger Rabbit.
And,
if it looked, I wanted to kind of look like that. Like when we do get to Secret Wars, you want to see that animated Spider-Man pop through with the Steve Ditko style, or some comic-y look, because they explored it in Multiverse of Madness. Remember when they was jumping through the different universes and
basically a 30-second montage,
right? But they explored it and showed it in live action. Like it did look good. I'll give it to them. It did look good.
Okay, makes sense.
They completed that heart-shaped herb formula for T'Challa's blood, so it made no sense that he died. But whatever, the movie was trash for me. No, you don't understand, Felicity.
Ouch!
He needed to die because they made an emotional reaction at a man's death. Even though they had 2 years until the movie would come out, they reacted emotionally. And then they just went gung-ho with it. That's why. You're acting like people should have thought things through. And I'm just telling you, this was an emotional reaction, and that's why.
No, Joe, that's not the reason. T'Challa had to die because
that's because he the Coogler had finished the script by then. But then after he passed away, they were dealt a bad hand.
No, they weren't. They were dealt reality. Chadwick Boseman is dead. Deal with reality. Delay the movie. Maybe do a movie with him not in it. Killing the character, so permanently the representation that he offers, the best character there's ever been who's black. Think of a black character that Jamie Foxx has played or that Samuel L. Jackson has played that's better than what Black Panther did. And the racial progression.
Don't do it, bro.
Okay, I won't do it. I won't do it. Pizza Planet, at Magic Kingdom, I think. What's Pizza Planet? Is that like Chuck E. Cheese, like that, the same sort of thing?
It was the thing that the arcade thing that they went to in the original Toy Story.
Miles will join the MCU eventually. Him and Morbius, Nate and Ryan.
Morbius does not deserve to be in the MCU. Sorry.
Okay. Next question of 33 Burning. If you don't stay,
you forgot Meteor Man.
Meteor Man. How could I forget? If you don't stay for the end of the post-credit scene, you're not a real fan. This is true.
True.
You're not a real fan.
So true. Like,
yeah, I never stay.
Well, I mean, usually if I ever go see an MCU movie like twice, the first time I usually do stay for the post-credits, like, because I mean, because when I saw Quantumania twice, I stayed for both. The first time, I couldn't stay for any of them the second time because I was with my best friend. He was kind of on a tight schedule, so I kind of.
And you didn't need to. It wasn't a reveal. It was just he's gonna be in Loki, guys. Check it out. You did not need to waste your time.
I kind of had to run him through some of the things that happened, even especially with Guardians Volume 3. The second time I saw it, we stayed for the first post-credit scene, but we didn't stay for the second. So I had to run him through what the second post-credit scene was. So
I don't know what that meant, by the way. Like, I have no idea what that meant.
It meant the reason was they didn't know what they were gonna do in the future, and they're like, we got to do post credits. That's our thing. We'll throw that in there.
Right. So, and yeah, mostly, and yeah, I do stay for both. So, if there is two, but obviously, if you talk about Wakanda Forever, there's only one. So,
that epilogue was post credit scene.
Have you ever asked a question on 33 Burning Questions? One, how did Star-Lord get that Walkman with all the music on when he gave it to his grandfather and ran straight out? And two, why did he never open the present for from his mother for the whole fucking for the whole time that he was? That's weird.
People make decisions like that. Like it would be too traumatizing. It would be too much of like an emotional burst. So he kept it without reading it, playing it.
Without opening it.
Without opening it, yeah. I don't know. People do weird things. Just accept it.
Okay. I just wondered if you had asked the question.
All end credits show up on YouTube within the first or the second day of the movie being out. No, they're there a day before the movie's even out. You don't.
Well, that's because people actually get to see this shit early, so they always think the best way to do it is just to put it online for everybody. That's more than likely going to see the movie.
You got to go on Twitter and mute certain words like leaks and trailers and post credits and all that.
Exactly.
You don't treat these fictional characters like athletes by permanently retiring their jersey. We're talking about.
Didn't they retire Kobe's number?
Oh,
no, he's trying to say when T'Challa died, you don't do it the way you do it with a character. I mean, with sports athletes.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
But Nerdman doesn't want me to talk about T'Challa because I always talk about T'Challa.
Well, I would say, and it also depends too, because you have to be like, if you like was Kobe Bryant, I understand why you're retiring the number, but if it's someone who not saying they don't matter, let's say someone was playing basketball for just a year in the NBA and he passed away, you don't need to retire the number. Sorry, like I get it, he passed away, but no,
and there's only 99 possible digits. So if the NBA players keep doing this, we're not gonna have enough for a 15-man roster. We're gonna run out of numbers. Felicity has an answer to your question, Nerdman. She says the take my hand Peter moment when they were fighting Ronin was when he realized the mommy issues he was dealing with, and opening the present was part of the resolution. It was mental.
Yep.
That mama's boy.
I know.
Mama's boy.
He said deal with reality. I really do not want Chill to become a major movie producer. Yeah, if I was, I would never kill the most important representative in the conversation of representation. I would not have done that. He says, your emotional response has no place in this art. Why not? It's just bad. Well, you're allowed to have an emotional reaction to a death. I don't know what the big deal is. You can make an emotional reaction, but when it has a permanent outcome and you did not need to have major decisions being made at an emotional time, and if you could have just delayed it a month, delayed it 2 months, delayed it 3 months, we'll get back to this. Let's just wait. Let's focus on the funeral part. We'll think this on a clear head. They didn't need to decide, we're at the whole entire script, can't recast. That'll be disrespectful, and every other reason that they may have came up with. I think it was wrong to do at a time where things were.
I give a prime example.
About that.
I give a prime.
I'm not as passionate about it as you, but like it was bullshit. I can't do it. Sorry, don't have.
I'll give a prime example, a very real one. This is a moment where everybody emotions are like fluctuating and they're off. A funeral. A very recent example. I went to a funeral, right? And some people there was very emotional. Now, somebody got mad at somebody else because they did something to the person that passed away. Now, I understand why they did so. But even regardless, in this moment, I totally understand why they felt the way. But under no circumstance was it okay for them to act the way they did and disrupt the whole service because of their little personal vendetta against a person that did something to the other person that passed away. Because now you just ruined the ceremony for that person's children, their parents that are there. You almost, and that's me using an insane example that actually happened, right? So that decision Marvel made was too soon. Like you could have waited on it. There was no rush to put out a Black Panther movie. There was no rush to do this because you could have put out other characters in the meantime. I could have waited another 5 years for a Black Panther movie. It's no rush. I can wait for stuff. I've been waiting years for so much stuff. I'm still waiting for a Ben 10 live action movie.
Here's the disrespect.
Yeah.
The man himself, we know from everything we know about his character, he himself would have wanted T'Challa recast.
Right.
That's the disrespect. If he had have come out and said, you know, I just really don't want this character recast. It means too much for me and blah, blah, blah. I would have thought, well, you're kind of a narcissistic person. But at the same time, maybe then you would understand them not recasting. But everything, every fiber of my being, I know. I think even his family came out and said he would have wanted that, you know, that character recast because of how important it is to, like, you know, kids and whatever, and how popular it was. You know, I've got like white kids in my school, like a little kid Philip, who wears his Black Panther T-shirt.
Oh, what's up, Philip? Will you show this to Philip? No, actually, you shouldn't. You shouldn't.
No, I'm not going to show.
I mean, yeah,
we were about to go Philip heavy for another 5 minutes of just Team Philip. All right.
Joe, okay, I don't want to say too much on Black Panther. I always got to get to the questions, but Black Panther, out of all, you know, the Black characters in fiction that we have seen, one of the few, aside from Static Shock, that I've actually been proud of seeing on screen. Like, proud. Not just like, oh, it's a Black person on screen. I'm legitimately proud. I'm happy. I'm like, yes, like we finally got something really freaking good. Like,
really?
Like, legitimately proud.
Blade, though.
I mean, Blade too. Yeah, Blade.
Representation like that. I don't.
Blade is not a role model.
You know, I actually, you're going to laugh at me, but I even like, you know, Darla from Shazam, and I've liked her in the comics as well, precisely because her character isn't about being Black. You know, like
yeah, that's important. No, I'm with you, nerd man, 100%.
Nothing to do with being Black. She's just a superhero, and she just happens to be Black. And I really like those characters as well. So
they do a whole lot. Yeah, that's very positive when you get those depiction. It's got nothing to do with the country of origin, parents, or anything. It's just this person is a superhero, has plot lines, and just like the white characters who are epic, like we never stop to question Indiana Jones's physical appearance. We don't talk about Ben 10's physical appearance. It's just, the character is Black, and they're treating
they have an actual personality, a discernible reason for
being. They just happen to be Black.
Right, exactly.
The J fam, I like how you mentioned Darla, because the next question, true or false, Megan Good now will be cast in the MCU. Luke?
I hope not, man.
I'd say false.
We don't want you to have
her. She could be.
I don't know exactly what they're gonna do with it though.
She's good, and it's so.
No pun intended.
I'm gonna break my heart. My heart is breaking right now.
I just said no pun intended. Like
I got it.
No,
there you go.
It would be good to me. I'm so sad about the Shazam franchise. I just can't. I can't do it right now. Anyway.
Well, you see, guys, Jonathan Majors is dating Megan Good, according to TMZ. So when he's on set shooting his parts, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's your girl. Yeah, you bring her in. She can play a role."
Is he?
Yeah, that came out. Yeah.
Oh boy.
No way.
They were in the movies in LA. They were like,
did you see how many people that was like bashing her for dating a guy, and we don't even know, like, we don't know the sentence yet. What people was like, "Oh, Megan White," like she doesn't know yet.
We don't know exactly what's going to happen though.
Right, she does not know. So if she wants to date him now, that's fine. She doesn't know the final say. But let's say if it is true, then I'm gonna call her like kind of like, "Oh, you're about to stay with this dude and he does that? You crazy?"
Yeah.
But then I'm gonna just
say, you know how girls like the bad boys. Come on.
Am I right?
I mean, you're not wrong.
Gotta pull that one on us.
But shouts out Jonathan if it's true, he's winning. But TMZ has so far been kind of on point with this Jonathan stuff. Their headlines are kind of questionable, but they've been on point with the facts.
But again, we just need to wait for a little bit to see exactly what's going to happen. So
Right.
Basketball
again,
scenario.
we don't know until it's actually out there.
Yeah, but then how are people going to have content? They have to make stuff up, otherwise there's no content.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
I had
Perp
to
says
think about
Megan.
that for a second. I was like, oh, yep, that makes
Who's
sense.
Megan Good? What role might she play? In Shazam, when Darla turned into superhero mode, that was Megan Good. That was the actress.
That
Megan-
was
Best
She looked
role.
good. She looked good in that suit too. I ain't gonna say.
Megan Good's best roles in Friday.
I don't remember.
DC should keep them and just do an animated thing or a TV show right now. They should keep them. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'd hate to see Megan Good in like a Marvel movie or MCU. I'd be upset.
Be fine
Susie-
playing in Shazam.
Susie Girl says exactly what K-Dot said, where I'm guessing it's a girl, if it's a real person or not, who knows. But she says that Megan Good needs to stay away from Jonathan Majors. K-Dot, she says guilty until proven innocent, she says.
I mean, if he's found guilty of what he did,
She didn't say that.
Well, again, we don't know that yet.
No, but she's not waiting, K-Dot. She's just saying it now.
Oh, then you might possibly jump in because if he ends up being innocent, this comment's not going to look good in general.
But this
That's
will.
That's the thing. If he's guilty, all the people that thought he's guilty, you're right. But if he's innocent, all the people thought he was guilty, they're about to look real dumb. That's why I have not decided yet and chose a side. But some people about to look really dumb when this verdict comes, and I'm just gonna be there laughing like, "Dang, you just should have waited."
He's claiming to have body cam footage in the back seat. He's claiming he's innocent. He's telling you how he's going to be able to prove it, and he's just saying we're not going to put it in the public. We're not going to tell the district attorney about it because then the district attorney will tell the woman to change her story. So everything he's saying is I'm able to prove my innocence, and all we know is this woman changed her story from he strangled me to now that was missing in the charges, and now it's like he threw me into the car rather than it happened in the car. And she also went to the club, and there's video of her going to the club after the incident, allegedly, if the incident even took place. After that happened, she goes out all night drinking and stuff. Jonathan Majors is the one who called 911 because she needed medical attention. I don't think you call 911 on yourself because you went berserk on somebody.
Well, yeah, because then you'd eventually be turning yourself in.
And
there should be a hashtag. There should be a hashtag. Believe all men. I don't know why nobody's thought of that.
There should not be a believable. I'm sure that's exists.
No.
Come on. But believe video footage, which there
Believe
is of her
Jonathan.
going to the club.
I
so
was
instead of believe all men. Believe Jonathan.
that I have to say about that, like about believing video footage. You don't know exactly how it went down before the thing was recorded, though.
But the bruises were not there because of what was showing.
Exactly.
If she's out,
so
if she's going out,
what was happening, then we'd have. And it was.
I was talking a feminist friend of mine who believes she's actually a really cool person, but she actually does agree with this whole believe all women thing. But she's also like super anti-racism, super like with the cops and abusing minorities and all of that kind of stuff.
Don't say don't call yourself a minority. I don't like that. Don't call yourself a minority.
No.
Sure. Whatever. You know what I mean. So I asked her about like the conflicting narratives in like progressive thought. Like, so what do you make of Emmett Till then? When the woman like accuses Emmett Till of, R-ing her.
Right.
And she's like, oh, that's awful, blah, 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 blah. But you believe that you should believe all women. So how do you hold those two concepts in your head when this is...
That's a good point.
Oh, I can explain that. I can explain that. I believe the term is called women logic.
Well,
I get that.
I wouldn't say that.
Oh, I would. They can easily hold two conflicting opinions at the same time because that's just how women think. It's just
you're an idiot.
I'm also right. The problem is I'm also right.
But Nerdman, I think Nerdman,
they offer openly and genuinely, and like, what do you make of that whole history of, accusations against, minorities, black men, whatever, by white women, What do you make of it? How do you against that? So how does she hold the believe all women thing at the same time? Period.
Yeah,
She's
because
not
if you look at it, you look at it like this, because she did the same exact. Not saying she's the same type of woman as the girl who's dealing with Jonathan, but she put a claim out there, and then
Carolyn.
through investigation, you found out that her story doesn't add up, and she retracts some stuff and changes her story. It's like, at this point, how can you really believe the person and they change their story so much? Like, it's literally, it's not a boy cry wolf situation. But if I go to Jaded and tell Jaded, hey Jaded, I got into a fight with this guy and he hit me first, and I go to Luke and I tell Luke, hey, I got into a fight with this guy and I started it, and I go tell Chill, I got into a fight with this guy, but I won, but I tell Mike I lost the fight. And then we all have a conversation together, and then we talk about this, and then they're like, dude, you're lying. What are you talking about?
I wouldn't believe you because of that hair that you keep rocking, so I can't trust you anyway.
I'm sorry, what Marvel movie are we talking about here?
Yeah, believe all men.
I mean, I understand. First of all, Chill, I have to take exception to you platforming that troll who is now in the upper right hand corner. But yes, that one right there. But now what exactly are we talking about?
We were talking about Megan Good, and is she going to be part of an MCU film now because she's dating Jonathan Majors? Will they cast her while they are, just chumming it up?
Married?
No, she just got a divorce, and she's been newly single.
And now she's dating Jonathan.
So, hey, Mike, possibility. She's out there.
She's single, man.
Never heard likes this conversation.
Well, hold on. Seeing as how Megan Good has already been in one really stupid, ridiculous DC movie, she should be used to what happens when she gets to the MCU, so she'll be fine.
You cannot be totally on one side of an issue, except for the government never truly having your back. You can be 100% sure of that. They will always abuse the power, even if they're fair-minded people within. Well, the cop is part of the government.
That is very, very true.
Luke agrees. And it's a cop who shows up and as this government agent, known as police officer, shows up at your door and goes, you know what? You definitely put your hands on her. I know what happened here. Woman.
Well, yeah, that's why even with the legal system.
Well, you don't know that until you actually see the actual evidence.
I think Majors knows it because he's saying he knows it, and he could be lying. Fine. Actually, I know what you mean, Luke. I know what you mean. We don't know that. Ourselves. William says,
that's why with the legal, not even just the American legal system, but legal system in general, they don't really have any morals within it, because people are getting paid to defend people that they may know for a fact you definitely did the crime, but since you're paying me a lot of money, I'm going to sit here and make a good lie to get you off or get you less time or really justify this and that. Because if I know for sure the person I'm defending killed somebody and we've seen the footage.
Yeah, but that's not how lawyers work. Everybody deserves a fair trial. So
I'm not saying they don't, but like, morally, you're not going to sit there and make excuses for a person that you've seen obviously killed somebody. But as Jada said, everybody deserves a fair trial.
Everybody deserves it.
Because you got to keep it fair. You can't really pick and choose, because then what is the system?
Well, in this day and age, either they believe in him or they're giving him the opportunity, or they're trying to figure out their way, because they should have fired Jonathan like the day after that news hit. Like, that's what they do these days. So the fact that they haven't done anything to him shows either they're trying to make ulterior plans, or they're actually waiting for the evidence, which is what they should do, to come out to find out whether, what exactly happened in this situation.
But at the same time, you can't hold up production on a thing indefinitely.
True.
You're right. Nothing's in production, though.
Yeah.
Those cases can take a long time. Mike, this is for you.
The next question is 17. True or false, Mike? Robert Downey Jr. returns within 3 years. He returns.
False.
Doolittle 3 goes straight to streaming. Yes, he will be.
Yeah, there's not going to be a Doolittle 3. There's not even going to be a Doolittle.
Well, Mike says that it's true. Luke is saying that this is false. Jaded Fanboy says, will Robert Downey return in 3 years?
Oh God, I hope not. I hope not.
But will it happen?
No. maybe at best a
I'm sorry.
cameo.
Does the question say maybe or maybe not, or true or false?
No, false.
It's false. It's false.
False.
Okay.
100%
Easy
false.
fault, dude.
Okay.
Like, come on,
The falses are in the lead. K. Dot. True or
Mhm.
false? Robert Downey Jr. returns in 3 years. 2026. We'll see him.
True. They're coming back.
Wow.
Like, why would you, dude? This
Just,
why,
wow.
is and he's not going to be the only Iron Man we're going to see. You cannot do this Secret Wars big event and you don't have Iron Man there.
Mhm.
People want to
Yeah, sure. Like you couldn't do the the Infinity War saga without Warlock. Yeah, you couldn't do that either.
Listen,
that's a
No,
different.
K-Dot is not
they messed that.
referencing comic books.
That's
K-Dot
a
is
completely different
referencing
story, though.
K-Dot's
He
referencing
hasn't
the
been seen in the MCU
successful
before.
10 sightings of Iron Man. That's why he had to be in Endgame. And
Well,
that's what he's saying. Because of the
well,
MCU, Tony Stark will be in Secret
here's
Wars.
the problem.
You're trying to say Adam Warlock is relevant to the comic story, which isn't the same to the same audience. It doesn't mean anything.
I mean, I agree. Warlock should have shown up in Infinity War. I think the plans got messed up in general around that time, because Warlock should have been in Infinity War. He should have been connected.
No.
But
If you're trying to placate the comic book people, then yes, you put him in there. But the way the story was structured for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there was no need for Adam Warlock to be there. You had Thanos, you had the Infinity Gauntlet. That's all you needed.
Captain Marvel as well.
How about the actual point of why he had the gauntlet in the first place? Why not?
If that was listen, if you were going to keep it that way, then he would have been trying to hook up with Death instead of trying to, just be the type of person that was going to save the galaxy, by getting rid of half of it.
People have to get the idea of adaptation. I really don't get it's got to be exactly from some specific comic book that I read, which is one amongst millions.
You mean hold on, whoa, no. It's two different things between it has to be accurate to the one comic book or being accurate to the actual storyline in which it's based on. That's two.
So
different
what?
things.
So where did Adam Warlock factor into the story in the MCU version of the Infinity Gauntlet?
No, he should have. We're saying we should have had that.
Why?
Because at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, you had the cameo.
Right.
You had him there.
Right.
It was already. If they had never even introduced him, I would have got it. But they gave him a cameo, and they hinted at it, and then they did nothing with it, Mike.
But that was Gunn because he was supposed to. They were supposed to develop a cosmic universe.
You're not defending it. You're not just explaining why. You're just saying when you point at Gunn, all you're doing is telling Jaded Fanboy why it's that way. But he is right. It's exactly wrong to promote him and then not use him in Avengers Endgame. Something went wrong.
This is the problem with comic book fans, because how many times, I mean, if you had a drinking game during WandaVision, how many times some internet neckbeard chud would mention Mephisto's coming just because of the storyline, you would have had alcohol poisoning and drop dead. It got ridiculous after a while. These are these things like for instance, when I was talking with Pickle about this, about when we saw Guardians 3, are you doing spoilers? Can I do a spoiler or something? Because the way the culture is now with people dissecting trailers, and I mean, I know it's part of the fun of being a fan and stuff like that, and like, oh well, this could be that and that could be that, but then when these things don't happen, they take it out on the franchise, they take it out on the movie, like, well, why didn't it happen? I thought everybody in Guardians was going to die because of the way they made it look in the trailer. Well, that's the thing. I mean,
that's kind of the thing, though. Because James Gunn is trying to toy with your emotions a little bit.
Well, not only that, but when it went all the way back to Infinity War, when they had Hulk running in Wakanda, and it's like he wasn't there. I can't tell you how many people got upset at that. I'm like, look, it's bad enough they give away so much stuff in the trailers as it is. I don't want to know these things.
There's a time when I think there's legitimate criticism, and I think the Hulk, the way he was embedded in that story.
No, Nerdman. I'm talking specifically about the trailer.
It was really terrible.
I'm not talking about how the Hulk was portrayed in the movie. I'm talking about the fact that they had him running in the trailer at the end, and people thought that he was going to be there, and when he wasn't there.
Yeah, I know. When they showed something in the trailer, how silly of us as an audience to think that was going to be in the movie.
Hey,
Because
you know what?
apparently
With
the
the way-
audience doesn't know how a trailer
Listen,
works.
there is way too much stuff that they show in these trailers to begin with. Okay, I mean,
still
I'm
doesn't
not a Fast
excuse
and the
the
Furious
mistake.
fan, but I've heard that most of the major set pieces were already in the trailer.
Yeah.
Like, why would you? I don't understand.
How
that.
does that excuse them making a mistake?
It's not a mistake. It's something. It's a misdirect. It's something to get you think that there's going to be something in there, and it's not in there.
I don't
It's a
think that was okay.
misdirect.
Really? How many other? Okay, wait a minute, Mike. How many other trailers use this misdirection to confuse the audience?
Guardians of the
Where
Galaxy
they show
3 just
something
did
in a where they show something in a trailer, but what is in the trailer is never actually in the movie.
Oh well. Sometimes that does happen because they do cut scenes out,
and
like
we
the last
call it
minute or
out.
whatever.
And we call it out.
Well, with the way the Russos did it, right? Not to say that most trailers don't do this, right? But most trailers they just coordinate to mix words together or take
No, I
scenes
get
and
it.
spice them. Well, no,
Yeah.
this one. The Russos straight up, not saying these was bad trailers, but they literally put in stuff that wasn't in the movie. Like in Endgame, there's literally a scene in the trailer where Thor's skinny and looks like he's in Wakanda, and then he's he has his hammer. But in that trailer, they didn't show that he was fat. They showed that he was skinny. Then you get to the movie, they show his fat Thor. And then in Endgame, when Cap shield, it was taken out the trailer. They didn't show Cap's broken shield in the trailer. I'm not saying that was bad because it didn't hurt anything, but showing Hulk running with the Avengers and stuff, and then seeing how he gets treated after, it's like, really, dang, dude.
Yeah, that was that.
That was bamboozled. You straight up bamboozled.
Yeah, that's a bait and switch. That's all it is.
Writer Jim Starlin in his meeting with the studio, I didn't think that the audience would buy into the concept of Adam Warlock. That's why they didn't use him during the Infinity Saga. Hollywood can no longer put extra footage in trailers that doesn't show up in the movie. There was a recent lawsuit that was lost because of that. I'm happy for that. Next question of 30.
Can I just real quick?
You didn't even ask me about the RDJ thing. Thank you.
What do you think? What do you think?
I think he's got own his own island money now, and I'm not sure it would have to be a really lucrative deal to bring him back, which is possible. But
I mean, they might have to pay him $70 million. Wasn't he getting like $70 million at some point?
For no reason.
If you're gonna spend that much money, he's not going to be a surprise. He'll be advertised to be in this movie. The next one,
but I think you should still put him in there because you want to have Tony talk to Reed Richards. You can't not have that happen. Come on.
Which of Rocket's animal friends would be the most fitting Guardian of the Galaxy?
Teefs.
Lila.
Floor.
Teefs.
Floor by far.
You want to know why I say Teefs, Chill?
Yeah.
You want to know why I say Teefs?
Uh-huh.
He'd be a great human shield.
Yeah, for battle, that's about it.
Yeah,
well,
what are the others going to be good for? The other ones are not useful at all. Lila doesn't even feel like a superhero name. That's not going to sell no merch. Teefs is definitely that franchise. He's the Rocket Raccoon. If they had to get another
Floor
Rocket
is a liability. Floor is a liability. She'll get you killed.
Floor
will be easy to animate. Floor doesn't have a mouth. Floor would just have
No. When I say she was alive, remember when she was breaking them out? And she was like, "Yeah, we're gonna go blah blah blah." It's like just being super loud and talk. Just imagine if you had to escape with Floor.
You mean like how Mantis was in Guardians of the Galaxy 2? You mean like how Mantis was?
Yeah, we don't need
two. Yeah, because it would work with Mantis, but it won't work with Floor.
No, Mantis has flaws. We understand. We recognize Mantis is
way more useful than Floor.
Unprofessionalness.
As opposed to Walrus, who you're saying is only viable as a human shield.
Yeah, he'd be a perfect human shield. That's all. His day as a Guardian will be like one day because he's just going to be a human shield.
Now they would soup up the wheelchair. He'd have shields on the chair. Never get tired from running because he's got an automatic power chair. The Walrus is the answer. Teefs.
The Walrus is the answer.
Yeah, then I'll just go ahead and give it to Teefs then.
Boom. That's 3 Teefs. We don't even need anyone else. Mike,
you played it best for me, Chillmonger, so I don't really have to say anything else.
It's pretty simple.
Teefs looked amazing being laid out on the ground like that.
Teeth.
Did a great job.
Otters are good for target practice.
He said others are good for target practice.
Oh, he said others. My bad.
Jesus.
He says Floor was stupid enough to be a guardian. Oh, that's an insult. That hurts. Two
I
for
like.
Floor.
I love all three of those characters, bro. What are you talking about? Like,
Teefs is the monster. Is Mike here?
Mm-hmm.
And you got Teefs, Floor, or Lila? He's so bothered by this. We can hear this sigh. If you don't want to be, if you got somewhere to be, like, you don't got to be here. It's cool.
Wait, Mike, did you like Guardians 3?
I did. Although the overuse of music kind of got on my nerves.
Okay. Well, I would just make sure you like.
Gunn does. He
Mhm.
does. He
But yeah.
uses a lot of different music in his soundtrack. I don't really know what the big deal is.
Well, it seemed that every time he cut, there was a new song playing.
Yeah,
and
that was-
whereas in the first movie, I understand the songs meant something to Peter because of his awesome mix, and even in part 2, the songs had some sort of relevance to what was going on in the movie. Here, it just seemed like they were compiling now that's the greatest Guardians of the Galaxy hits, Volume 3 or whatever. And I just, it was just an overuse. I hadn't seen that much since Top Gun back in the day. Not the new one, but
it's like there's a scene where they're flying the ship. Gotta have an 80s song.
Yeah.
And then they're going, oh look, we're now digging up a grave. Let's have another 80s song. We're doing no matter what they were doing.
Yeah.
There was a song
go
infected
to,
for 10-15 seconds for literally no value.
It was almost as bad as like in
have,
Attack of the Clones when they had Duel of the Fates playing while Anakin was riding the speeder bike on Tatooine to murder some more sand people. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and then they have like during
which they deserve
those fight sequences in the third act where it's the second time this year in a Chris Pratt movie that they play "No Sleep Till Brooklyn" by the Beastie Boys. Like,
wow, what was the first one?
Mario?
It was Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. Oh, okay.
Well, fuck me then.
I thought. Well, I didn't dislike. I think they could have went. I think Gunn could have picked a better rap song. I just thought the Beastie Boys song was like, that's like super white. That's a very super white choice of you to do. Like that's the most white thing you can pick for
That's
that
like
scene.
the third time he used white as a slur against a group
No.
of people.
No,
I'm not.
Ed Sheeran's song would have been the most.
No,
white.
What do you expect from a primarily DC fan? I mean, his dad above him is vulgar, and he's over here being like pseudo racist here. So I mean, what do you expect from a DC fan? This is what you get.
I'm not saying Beastie Boys is bad. There's black people like Beastie Boys. So let's be real. Beastie Boys probably appeal to a wider audience.
Was he back in the day, like the late '80s when they came out? I don't think people saw color.
What I'm trying to say. So
when I heard Iron Man play "Back in Black," same, all right, that I'm sure that appeals
that was
to
perfect.
ACDC.
Well, yeah, and then in the beginning of the first Iron Man, they play "Sweet Home Alabama" by Skinner. Like that's what they play, and I'm just like, really, like. And
you're on his team,
Mario, and that's what I was saying though. Like why they play "No Sleep Till Brooklyn" in Super Mario Brothers. It was the first scene when it was the scene when Mario and Luigi were running for their first plumbing job. Like they were, and it made sense because the film, like before they go to the Mushroom Kingdom, is set in Brooklyn. So.
See, it was a safe rap song. I think he's talking about Guardians here.
Yeah, without
"No Sleep Till Brooklyn."
He could have played like some DMX or something. A little too safe.
Nah, you couldn't play DMX. Deadpool played DMX, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah, that was the first Deadpool.
They got DMX in the Transformers trailer.
The less
Number 9. Nerdman, have you streamed Quantumania yet?
What do you mean? I watched it again. It was worse than the first time I saw it.
Oh, see, you laughed. You laughed for nothing. He did.
Oh
Luke.
No. Wait, because like Dermot, did you watch it on Disney Plus?
Oh no, I didn't watch it on Disney Plus. But like, I don't have Disney Plus. I wouldn't get that. I'm not feeding the mouse anything. It's not getting.
Well, I haven't
every time I go and see an MCU movie, I go and pay for another movie. I actually got cinema recently doing it.
Okay,
I'll tell
thank
you
you.
this. I haven't watched it on Disney Plus yet. I saw the film twice in theaters, and I already bought it. So there you
Oh
go.
my god.
No, that's a yes. That is an answer.
Did you like
So-
it?
I really enjoyed Quantumania enough for what it was. Look. Technically, if I was critically speaking, it's not very good, but
I love
had a good
that
time with it.
addition. I love that addition for what it was. Oh yeah, a broken mess of brain dead stupid. Yes, it's
Yeah, it is a mess. If you're speaking critically about the film, it is a mess.
Yes.
But again, I just had a good time watching it. Like that's all I really wanted out of it was just to have a good time.
And you're not alone. We got a yes. We got a yes. We got a yes. I watched it 3 times. I have to perp some sort of.
Did you watch Shazam?
What?
Did you watch Shazam, Luke?
I only saw that once in theaters. It was good. I enjoyed Shazam.
No,
the
but
good
the
thing is I
second one.
avoided the second trailer for as long as possible. So because I heard it gave away the entire movie. So I was like, I'm avoiding it. And no times that I've gone to the theater that it showed that trailer. So I was like, okay, I'm safe.
Good. So you watched the second one?
I've only watched the first trailer to Shazam. It was the Comic-Con
No, I'm
trailer.
saying you watched the second Shazam movie, Shazam: Fury of the Gods.
That was exactly what I was talking about.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know.
That second trailer. I've only seen the Comic-Con trailer, and that was it. I never watched a single trailer after that.
And you enjoyed it. That's good. Okay, I was just curious.
Quantumania is the worst. And then hell
Really
to the no.
Worse than Thor: The Dark World.
That was his
Really?
next comment.
It's not worse than Thor: Love and Thunder. No way.
Or Ragnarok.
I'm sorry,
God,
man, but
Ragnarok.
I enjoyed Thor: Love and Thunder.
Ant-Man 3 is better than Thor 4.
Complete trilogy. My
Wait,
huge question
I would
is
say for
What-
me
what
they're
are
about.
the films-
I would
what are
say
the
for me
films?
they're about the same level for me.
Because I think it's better than Shang-Chi. I know like a lot of people disagree with me, including K-Dots. I think it's better than Shang-Chi.
You're taking it too far down there, man. I was with you. Now you just.
I love Shang-Chi.
yes.
Shang-Chi
But,
way better than.
Jaded fanboy say something nice about Shang-Chi.
What about
Jay-
Shang-Chi?
Jay
It
hates
was a
everything.
waste of a movie. It was a waste of a movie. It wasn't even necessary.
We tried.
Told you, Jada hates everything.
Jaded hates
No,
everything.
I hate bad movies. I don't understand how hard this is.
You've infected all comic book fans. They've become.
God,
all
I
these
wish.
fanboys.
God, I
You've-
wish.
you've-
Well,
you've
the thing
created
is,
a
it's way
movie.
more difficult to make a movie than you think it is. Like,
No,
Age
I
of
thought
Pro-
Quantumania
Yeah,
was.
except I've actually seen good
Fury
movies.
was a
I've
little bit
actually seen
more-
good comic book movies. I've actually seen good
Yeah,
popcorn movies. I've actually seen good sci-fi movies.
for-
So it's not like they don't
for
exist.
Silver
They
Surfer.
do.
That's his good comic book movie. Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer and Tank.
No, okay. First of all, you all know why I think I love that. Why I love that movie. It has nothing to do with the movie itself. It has to do with a single.
Silver bias.
Did you like Thor 4 Love and Thunder? No.
Of course not. It was a dumbass movie.
I did.
It was ridiculous.
Name a
I'm
movie
sorry,
that
I
you
did.
like.
I did.
Yeah, so did I. Name a movie that you like, Jaded fanboy.
Thank you, Showmonger.
What a name a movie that I like? They Live.
All right. He's here to chew
Phase-
bubble gum.
Okay,
We're on phase
okay.
5 or phase 4.
I can name like
We're on phase. No, but what we just started phase 5 with Quantumania. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
and,
So
well,
in
and Guardians
phase-
Volume 3.
including Quantumania in phase 4, what movies came out? Thor: Love and Thunder,
We
Black
got
Panther,
No Way Home.
No Way Home.
Black
Yeah,
Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternal,
Eternal,
Spider-Man, No Way
Black
Home,
Widow,
Doctor
and
Strange.
Multiverse of Madness.
So the only two that I would say are better than Quantumania are Doctor Strange and Black Widow.
Okay. The next
That's
question.
it. The rest
Nerd
of them
Man,
are not as good.
which hero has the biggest fan base between Hawkeye and between Captain Marvel? First,
Hawkeye.
you said Hawkeye? That's harsh. Thanks for
It's
bumping
true.
Has the biggest fan base. Like,
more populous.
I would honestly probably say Captain Marvel.
Yes.
Because there's a lot more controversy surrounding Captain Marvel itself. So, like, from
Yeah,
what
but
I
how
think,
does that convert to a bigger fan base? Just because
Right.
there's more controversy.
Yeah, that's why I say
It
she
kind
even
of
has
does
less
though,
of a bigger
if you
fan
really
base.
think about it.
Well, hold on. Just because there's more people talking about Captain Marvel doesn't mean that they're fans.
I don't think there's fans of these characters outside Iron Man and Captain America. I don't think there's huge fan bases. I think
Captain Marvel has
there's a fan base for the
MCU. Like with either of those characters. Like, I never said that.
So within the fan bases of the MCU, are they more favorable to Hawkeye or Captain Marvel? And I say Captain Marvel. Hawkeye is always going to be the powerless guy.
Like he's just like, boom, boom.
Yeah, as opposed to Black Widow, who has so many powers. Really, I keep forgetting. How many powers does Black Widow have?
Well, I'd say
I believe the answer is 0.
All right.
I mean, Black Widow has more fans than Hawkeye, but
I agree.
Looking at yes, Captain Marvel had a $1 billion movie, but just like what Luke brought up with the controversy around her, I think with Captain Marvel on both ends, right? People are kind of just like, for people, there's the people that go like, oh, blah blah SJW women stuff, right? And then you have the people that's kind of probably just latching onto her to use her as a weapon to fight back against the people that are pushing back on her for political stuff. Because I'll be honest with you, I think there's more people who are fans of Miss Marvel and Monica Rambeau than Captain Marvel specifically.
Okay,
those two
how
are.
about this way? Captain Marvel has more fans who don't actually read Captain Marvel comic books.
I'd say that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think anyone reads.
We'll have to see how it really pans out when the Marvels does come out, like her teaming up with Monica Rambeau and Miss Marvel. So we'll have to see how that pans out.
Did you just say Miss Marvel? I'm sorry. MISS is Miss Marvel. You better listen. Her name is pronounced Ms. Marvel.
Ms. Marvel.
I promise you, the pronoun of MS period alludes to her marital status, just like Miss and Mrs. do as well. When you call somebody a Ms., it's unknown whether or not they're married or single. And
I guess it makes sense, but I'll just say it's Kamala Khan. So
I might have to watch this Captain Marvel in the cinemas, and I'm gonna hate my friend forever for having to do this. But Zawe Ashton, who's the villain in the movie, is a friend. Was a friend of mine from my college days. So I'm kind of like, I have to support her, and like put a thing on Facebook. I went to see it. Oh, you were amazing, So it might be the only MCU movie I watch in cinemas and actually pay for.
Yeah, I'm friends with Ms. Marvel.
She was one with the one with the axe in the trailer, right?
I haven't seen the trailer properly. I know there was a shot of her in the trailer, but I didn't see exactly what it was.
Okay.
Eric says Hawkeye. Brywood says Hawkeye. Venom has a bigger fan base. Adnan says Captain Marvel. I would think because women like the character more, and her film made $1 billion, didn't it? Yeah. How much did the
Right,
Hawkeye
that's
film
what I think there's more female.
But hold on, actually, you know what though? Just because it made a lot of money doesn't mean people watched it and then liked it. It just mean it was good advertising. Hawkeye, especially after what happened to Jeremy Renner. Ooh, we're forgetting the real life stuff. Yes,
that makes a lot more sense. Yes.
Look how many people came out to cuss and was like, Jeremy. They really care. They love that dude, man.
Don't be part of the pronoun police. I am part of the pronounce a superhero correctly police, and don't change your superpowers.
Hey man, I feel like Show's one of those people that will, correct your grammar on Twitter, even though it doesn't really matter.
Only if
really
it involves Miss Marvel. That's it.
If I'm in a Twitter debate, if we're like 6 threads deep and you use the wrong there, I'm coming at you. Oh, really? look at K-Dot. He's like, yep.
Well, all right. Let me say it because it depends. If you are, let's say, you're debating somebody on Twitter and you're engaging like a serious. Now, let's say you come at them in a very disrespectful way, like off the top, disrespectful in your conversation. If I see for 1 minute that your grammar is bad, I'm gonna call you out. I'm gonna say, okay, so you're bold enough to talk smack, but you're not intelligent enough to have some good grammar with it.
It never.
That's the only time I will. That's the only time I'll call out the bad grammar.
You
If
always
it's
should.
a casual, respectful conversation,
It's the American
I'll let it
education.
slide.
Hold on.
Exactly.
It's the American education system. Why would you expect?
Whoa.
That's
What about the Canadian? You know what I'm saying? What about Canada?
Up top.
Y'all be saying A, you know what I'm saying? That's not even like a real shit. Like, come on, bro.
You're
Fuck
taking
do
it
that.
too far now.
Hey,
You did
no.
your best.
Wait, don't interrupt Shuri. She said,
I'm sure you did your best.
"That's right. I'm sure you did your best."
Is it that hard to say about?
Now
Is
wait,
it
is
that-
it YOUR or YOU''RE?
You know, if someone just writes the letter UR, like your, I'm okay with that. That makes sense. That registers. I'm good. You know, only 140 characters. We gotta narrow things down. I'm good with that one.
Well, eventually, yeah. If you start going over the 140 characters, then you start writing in Prince Bonics with the U and the 4 and the R and yeah.
Mike, Rogue Comics, how does the Kamala Khan comic book death, if you guys didn't know, how is this going to affect the MCU?
It doesn't, because the movies are different from the comic books and the TV shows. So,
Yep.
And the
Precisely.
movies have very little to do with the actual source material, so it's not really relevant.
Dude, I guarantee you, Kamala will be alive by the end of this year in the comics, anyways.
although
That's
Marvel has attempted to try to streamline the books into what the comics are, like what they did with that abysmal Spider-Man movie that came out in 2003, where they gave him organic web shooters in the stupidest story ever.
Calm
Even
down.
more, I mean, that was
That's
almost
true.
as ridiculous
That's
as
Spider-Man
Mephisto.
movie here.
Too far now,
nonsense.
Mike. That's
That
peak
helped
Spider-Man.
the MCU, or should I say Sony, make over $2 billion because
It
it's so
does.
superior.
Hey, as Miss Marvel has demonstrated, it doesn't mean it was a good movie just because it made money.
Yeah, you're right. Spider-Man: No Way Home was not a good movie. That's very true.
tripping.
So,
No Way Home was a great movie.
So, Perp, what's your take on this comic book news? Is going to make
It does not affect me because I don't read comic books. So,
But how is that going to transfer into the MCU? She's going to die. Is she going to die in a movie now?
no, because MCU doesn't kill any characters besides T'Challa. So,
I do.
Yes.
I do believe they killed a few other characters in the MCU. Were you not paying attention?
Like
lead superheroes, though?
Iron Man, Black Widow.
Remember when we said he'd be
ring a
back?
bell?
Everyone knows he's coming back.
No, he's not coming back.
But why would you read those comics? That's what I'm saying. Like, the problem is those movies and those TV shows of certain characters should never have been made. That's how I see it. They should have been stuck to the main Avengers and like continued on their stories and maybe rebooted when those stories are finished.
You mean like how the Snyderverse movie should have never been made, but they got made anyway?
No, but at least they were characters that like people care about. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
Did they really?
I get making a Guardians of the Galaxy every once in a while, but like the fact that they force-fed all of these ridiculous characters down our throats, it's harmed, I think, comic book movies more than anything.
What a packed panel. We are pretty packed. Usually not everyone answers the
Harkness TV show. Ooh.
Right.
Yeah, Agatha Harkness. Has she got a comic?
It's television. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. Everyone's saying it doesn't matter. Luke, did you answer yet? What do you think about the Kamala Khan comic book death?
It won't affect anything. So
precisely, and we're giving it way too much credence by talking about it this long. Adnan says they're going to kill her off in the comics as an Inhuman and then rebirth her as a mutant. Yeah, so maybe in the MCU Academy X at the Jean Grey School of Academy of Higher Arts or whatever it's called.
I was seeing a poster. Somebody said, "Oh my gosh, you're gonna kill Miss Marvel and give her the energy powers in comics."
The X.
Then when she gets reborn, she gets her energy powers.
The light stuff.
Are you ready for the X people?
The people of X, yes.
You never know. Like, again, we'll just have to see what happens. Like,
Nation of X.
No, you know what would be great is if they were all Latino, then you could call them Latinx. Latina.
Terrible. That was terrible.
Nope.
Question number 20 of 33 Burning MCU or 22. How badly do you want to see Jared Leto Morbius interact with Spider-Man? 0%.
0. Big goose egg. Big goose egg for that.
I'm going like 75%. That was just so
There's
much.
no, I don't want that. No.
It was the funnest bad movie I've seen in a long time. That was just so ridiculously bad. It was like the balls on that movie as well. It was.
I had that as my least favorite movie of 2022 for actually a good while. Like, but it was until in January this year that I watched Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Then I was like, no, that's the number one.
That's a terrible movie.
But it's still, but that doesn't change the fact that Morbius is still an awful movie.
Oh no, it's awful. But like even the way
this isn't the Morbius review. This is how badly you want to see him interact with
Hold
Spider-Man.
on, wait. Morbius wasn't a bad movie.
This isn't the Morbius review.
But it wasn't a bad movie. It was a good movie.
Do you want to see
So
Morbius?
I would say 1,000%.
For what it was. For what it was, Luke. How's that? It was a good movie for what it was.
Bro Comics, did you just say that you want to see 1,000%?
Wait, Mike, are you trolling or are you being serious?
I want to see him interact with Spider-Man.
Mike is trolling.
Mike, you're
so easy.
This is the one bearable Jared Leto role that I've seen from him ever.
Okay, we're talking about that then.
Seriously?
Yeah,
I can't go that far, dude. No way.
I didn't like the movie, but I didn't hate it. I just was completely ambivalent about it. So I guess
You're
right.
I'll be honest. Like I walked in with really low expectations, but I walked out still hating it. Like it just wasn't my thing, man.
It's the character. Look, the character to begin with. There's nothing. It's not like, oh my god, they left the best Morbius story in the like. There is no best Morbius story. Like,
yes, there is.
Stop.
The Venom when Peter Parker ended up getting the 4 arms. That's the main Morbius storyline. Okay. I like that storyline.
This was his origin, though. This had nothing to do.
No, I understand, but you're saying there is no good Morbius story.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, Morbius solo story.
Oh, like Morbius solo stories. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So what they did was they introduced him and all that stuff, and that's what the movie was. That's it. I mean, his
kind of like
Shang-Chi.
Kind of like Shang-Chi. It was like
no, stop that, Jaded. Stop throwing shade at Shang-Chi, bro. Like Shang-Chi was fired. You're not doing that.
Shang-Chi is bad.
But yes, I do want to see them. I do want to see.
No, Shang-Chi's not a bad movie at all. Bro.
I would rather see Morbius interact with Spider-Man than Venom.
The Morbius cinematic universe.
Wow. I'd rather see Morbius interact with Jared Leto's Joker. You know, that would be interesting.
You know what? You know why there's so much hate to this Morbius movie is because the Morbius movie was a better Batman movie than the Batman movie. That's why.
Yo, see, like, come on, bro. L takes all stream. L takes.
In the MCU, who's been the best law enforcement officer out of everyone? You give it to to Nick Fury. Is it Agent Coulson? Who?
Aren't they all law enforcement officers? Since they're
whether it's a cop, whether it's FBI, CIA, Everett Ross, all of them.
Aren't they all technically law enforcement officers since the Avengers is not now? But
no, because I'm not counting Project Avengers.
No. Hawkeye doesn't count. Black Widow doesn't count. But the law enforcement.
Hawkeye is a law enforcement.
I'm making the rules. I'm saying he doesn't count. He doesn't count.
He works with the government.
Yeah, I gotta agree with William. Definitely Misty Knight.
Okay. Let's use the traditional cops.
Yeah.
I'll say Tony Stark. He's the biggest cop there. Like, you know.
Yeah. So we're not gonna listen to my criteria, huh?
He's not wrong.
All right, fine. All right, Monica Rambeau.
He is right because when Tony signed them papers, he became a government. Well, technically, United States.
So was a postman, but a postman is a government official. He's not a police officer.
No, but he
the people that work in the DMV, people that work in the DMV are not police officers, even though they're government.
They're not police officers, but at that point, he is a law enforcement.
No, he's not.
Legally now, he's law enforcement.
Law.
Once they sign it,
okay, hold on. He's officially a law enforcement officer. So when he dropped the Hulk, why did he go, how quickly can I buy this building? He should have gone, no. Because I'm a government employee, the government's going to pay for the law.
No. Because the Avengers was associated with just S.H.I.E.L.D. and then now that Shield fell in a Civil War, when they sign those papers, they are giving away their rights to the government because they can't do the vigilante stuff no more. So they now work under the government. Even though they took away the Sokovia Accords, they work officially under the government. So the
That's
government
martial law right there.
Was it the government or was it damage control?
Well, it was really.
But they're an agency. They're all the same thing. They're the opposite.
Yeah.
No, damage control is not a governmental agency. They're the janitors of the MCU. Like they really need to retcon that and put that the way it should be.
Oh, wait a second. The Loki guys count, don't they? The
TVA? Nah, yeah, fine. Yeah. Do you want any of the Loki guys, or are you just?
I would say
Enforcement.
Owen Wilson.
Was it Mobius?
Yeah, Mobius.
Okay.
Mobius.
Yo, that has been 33 burning questions. We just made it to 22. The reason why we only made it to 22, and I'm not continuing with the other 33, because I picked. No. There's more questions, guys. There's 23. There's 24. There's 25. Like you could
go all the way to the end.
got it.
Which film?
Wait,
I'll explain. I'm gonna co-stream with the Dre Max show at 2:00. That was our plan, and we're gonna do that at the end of this. When I click end broadcast, it should redirect to Dre Mac. We're going to be doing a Jonathan Majors discussion. And let's help him get this watch time up there. Let's help. You guys have seen Dre Mac on my show a couple of times before. He is worth listening to. If you're new here, jump into his live stream. So he's just began his stream. We're going to pop in there. I'm going to pop in there when I click end. If it doesn't automatically play, here it is in the comment section. But until we meet again, I am Chillmonger. Subscribe to me. The Jaded Fanboy, it's just as it's spelt. Luke Ponto's YouTube channel is just as it's spelt. SSJ K.Sanctum. We got Perp Minded. We got Rogue Comics. And we got Hot Takes Tuesdays. We'll see you at the Jonathan Majors discussion.